अनाथ, इन्हीं के अधीन कृपा गिरिधर की। गाओ मेरे आरती रसिक वर की, गाओ गाओ मेरे आरती रसिक वर की। भक्ति योग रस अवतार अभिराम, करे निगमागम समन्वय ललाम। श्यामा श्याम नाम रूप लीला गुणधाम, बाट रहे प्रेम निष्काम विनुदाम। हो रही सफल काया नारी नर की, गाओ मेरे आरती रसिक वर की। गाओ गाओ मेरे आरती रसिक वर की। ललीला लीला का सलोना सुविलास, छाया दिव्य दृष्टि विचर प्रेम का प्रकाश। वैसा ही विनोद वही मंजू मृदुहास, करे बस वर बस उच्च अट्टहास। जय हो झूमी चले चाल वही नटवर की, गाओ मेरे आरती रसिक वर की। गाओ गाओ मेरे आरती रसिक वर की। जयति जगत गुरु गुरुवर की, गाओ मेरे आरती रसिक वर की। गाओ गाओ मेरे आरती रसिक वर की। मत प्रेयान राधिका प्रेयान, मधवो राधिका धव। तस्मादपि गरीयान्यो, कृपालुर्मे जगद्गुरु। गुरुं भजति श्रीकृष्णः, श्रीकृष्णं भजते गुरु। सिद्धान्ततस्त्व भेदेऽपि, कृपालुर्मे गुरुर्महान्। यस्य साक्षात् भगवती ज्ञानदीपप्रदे गुरौ, मर्त्या सद्भिः श्रुतं तस्य सर्वं कुञ्जर शौचवत्। एष वै भगवान् साक्षात् प्रधान पुरुषेश्वरः। योगेश्वरैर्विज्ञानधृर्योऽयं मन्यते नरम्। यमुनानिकटतटस्थित वृन्दावन कानने महारम्ये, कल्पद्रुमतलभूमौ चरणं चरणो परिस्थाप्य, तिष्ठन्तं घननीलं स्वतेजसा भासयन्तमिह विश्वम्। पीताम्बरपरिधानं चन्दनकर्पूरलेप्त सर्वाङ्गम्। आकर्णपूर्णनेत्रं कुण्डलयुगमण्डितश्रवणं, मन्दस्मित मुख कमलं सकौस्तुभोदार मणिहारं वलयाङ्गुलीयकाद्या नुज्ज्वलयन्तं स्वलङ्कारान् गलविलुलितवनमालं स्वतेजसा पास्तकलिकालं गुञ्जारवालिकलितं गुञ्जापुञ्जान्विते शिरसि भुञ्जानं सह गोपैः कुञ्जान्तर्वर्तिनं नमत मन्दारपुष्पवासित मन्दानिलसेवित परानन्दं मन्दाकिनीयुतपदं नमत महानन्ददं महापुरुषं सुरभीकृतदिग्वलयं सुरभिशतैरावृतः परितः सुरभीतिक्षपणमहासुरभीमं यादवं नमत अशरण शरण महाप्रभो तुम स्वामी हम दास की जय कृपा कृपालु दीजय गुरु सहवास तुम दीनन रखवार हम अहंकार अवतार अस करु कृपा कृपालु अब दीन बनु सरकार हो ऐसो हो पतित जो पतित ना आपुहि मान ऐसे पतित विचित्र को पावन करो तब जान सब भिखारी जगत के जे दिगनाते दार दिव्य प्रेम आनंद के तुम एक साहूकार धनी गुरुवर धाम निवास सुनो मन पुण्यन पुंज सो पाए जो बनी दीन प्रपन्न रहो गुरु के नित सेवा सोताहि रिझाइए जो मन ते हरि को गुरु को सुमिरो रसना सो सदा गुण गाइए जो क्षण भंगुर जीवन जानी मना क्षण हूँ जनी व्यर्थ कमाइए जो सब धामन वारो वृंदावन पे और वृंदावन गुरु धाम पैवारो जो गुरु के पद प्रीति जुरी तो भजो चले आवे गो ब्रह्म विचारो है हरि निर्मल भक्तन को गुरु है अधमों को उदाहरण हारो और रहने को गुरु हो या न हो गुरु मेरो कृपालु सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। श्रीमद् युगल सरकार की जय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। जय जय श्री राधे। जय जय श्री राधे। जय जय श्री राधे। Radhe Radhe everyone, I humbly request you to not leave a gap. If you can move up, because many more will be coming. The bhajan is Humein Toh ek Shyam so kam. In your books, book number 2, page number is 17, and these words will be projected on both the TV screens. हमें तो एक शाम सो काम। मैं हिंदी में भावार्थ पढ़ने वाली हूँ। हमें तो एकमात्र शाम सुंदर से ही काम है। नंदग्राम में रहना, मांग कर खा लेना, तान कर सो जाना, बस यही लक्ष्य है। मांगी खाइबो, तानी सोइबो, रहिबो श्री नंदगाम। ब्रज भाषा में लिखा है। गावत श्याम नाम गुण लीला पल छिन आठों याम। स्पष्ट है इसका मतलब, उनके नाम गुण लीला को हम निरंतर गाते रहते हैं। नितरत विष्णु धाम बैकुंठ हूँ, विचरत नित ब्रज धाम। भगवान विष्णु के बैकुंठ धाम को भी नहीं चाहते, क्योंकि इसमें बहुत ऐश्वर्य है, उसमें प्रेमानंद नहीं है, उसमें डर ही डर लगता रहता है। बस ब्रज धाम में ही घूमा करते हैं, क्योंकि ब्रज में प्रेमानंद मिलता है। घूमत झूमी झूमी कुंजनी, जहाँ सबरी मुक्ति गुलाम। झूम झूम कर उन कुंजों में डोला करते हैं, जहाँ समस्त मुक्तियाँ दास्ता करती हैं। हम कृपालु एक श्याम भरोसे, सोव पसारे श्याम। जगत गुरु श्री कृपालु जी महाराज कहते हैं कि हमें किसी और की परवाह नहीं, एकमात्र श्याम सुंदर का ही भरोसा रखते हैं, एवं उन्हीं के भरोसे निश्चिंत होकर पैर फैलाकर सोते रहते हैं। If you have a book, page number is 17 in book number 2. Before we start to sing, let's take our mind to Vrindavan, to the divine abode of Shri Krishna, Vrindavan Dham. Ek sham so kaam hame to विष्णु धाम वैकुंठ
सारे पाप हमें तो विचरत नित ब्रज धाम हमें तो विचरत नित ब्रज धाम हमें तो
वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। In your book, page number is 79. Page 79, book number 2. In Prem Ras Madhira, this is from Milan Madhuri. जब श्याम सुंदर और राधा रानी मिलते हैं या श्याम सुंदर और गोपी मिलते हैं. Again the words will be projected on the screen. मैं हिंदी में पढ़ के सुनाती हूँ आपको इसका भावार्थ. लखी मैं सखी सुंदर श्याम सुजान. एक सखी अपनी अंतरंग सखी से कहती है, मैंने परम सुंदर श्याम सुंदर को देखा है. कहती है, जमुना पुलिन अलिन संग हिली मिली गई करन स्नान. मैं सखियों के साथ अलिन, अली यानी ब्रज में अली शब्द का मतलब होता है सखी, गोपी. तो मैं सखियों के साथ हिल मिलकर यमुना के तट पे पुलिन, यमुना पुलिन यानी यमुना के तट पर स्नान करने गई थी. ललित लवंग लता कुंजन ते प्रकट्यो औचक कान. श्याम सुंदर अचानक सुंदर लवंग की लताओं के मंडप से वहीं आ गए. सान धरे सैनन उर सो तकी मार्यो नैनन बान. उन्होंने अत्यंत नुकीले नैनों के कटाक्ष बाण से हृदय पे प्रहार किया. छू मंतर सो करी उर अंतर दूरी गयो कुंज लतान. बाण लगते ही मेरे ऊपर जादू सा हो गया. इतने में उन्होंने मुरली की तान छेड़ दी. घायल करी कृपालु ललिता कहाँ टेरियो मुरली ही तान. तो उन्होंने, श्री महाराज जी कहते हैं कि इस प्रकार मुझे घायल करके वे पुनः उसी लवंग लता कुंज में छिप गए. दूरी गयो, छुप गए. कहाँ? कुंज लतान, लवंग लता कुंज में छुप गए. लखी मैं सखी सुंदर श्याम सुजान. लखी
सखी सुंदर श्याम सुजान लखी मैं सखी सुंदर श्याम सुजान लखी मैं सखी सुंदर श्याम सुजान जमुना ओ लखी मैं सखी सुंदर श्याम सुजान बोलिए ताली बजाइए रूप ध्यान कीजिए सुंदर श्याम सुजान जमुना पुलीन अलीन संग हिली मिली जमुना पुलीन अलीन संग हिली मिली ओ जमुना पुलीन अलीन संग हिली मिली 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 लखी मैं सखी गई करन अस्नान लखी मैं सखी गई करन अस्नान ललित लवंग लता कुंजन ते ललित लवंग लता कुंजन ते ओ ललित लवंग लता कुंजन ते ललित लवंग लता कुंजन ते लखी मैं सखी प्रकट्यो औचक कान लखी मैं सखी प्रकट्यो औचक कान लखी मैं सखी औचक प्रकट्यो कान लखी में सखी प्रकट्यो औचक कान। लखी में सखी सुंदर श्याम सुजान। सखी दुरी गयो कुंज लता लखी मैं सखी दुरी गयो कुंज लता घायल करी ललिता घायल करी कृपालु ललिता कहाँ घायल करी कृपालु ललिता घायल करी कृपालु ललिता कहाँ घायल करी कृपालु ललिता लखी मैं सखी तेरो मुरली तान 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 लखी मैं सखी लखी मैं सखी तेरो मुरली तान लखी मैं सखी तेरो मुरली तान लखी मैं सखी सुंदर श्याम सुजान 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 लखी मैं सखी सुंदर श्याम सुजान
बोलिए प्यारे प्यारे श्याम सुंदर की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. Could I have everyone saying jai, please? वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय. We've had a taste of the happiness that comes from singing about Shyam Sundar, talking about him, reading about the gopis' interaction with Shyam Sundar. Jagat Guru Uttam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, with his grace, nectar flows through his literature, such as Prem Ras Madira, the book that we were just singing from. Alongside with the nectar, it is very important to understand the philosophy, the teachings. And so now I will familiarize you or remind you of some of the teachings of Jagat Guru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, which are the teachings of the Vedas, Purans, Gita, Ramayana, and other scriptures. Prathamam Sadgurum Vande Shri Krishnam Tadanantaram Guru Papatmanam Trata Shri Krishnastva Malatmanam Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnur Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. One of the very beneficial actions that we can perform in life is to look at our own faults and shortcomings. We must act opposite to our habit of seeking faults with others, and we must focus the attention on the self. What are my faults? What are my shortcomings? As we walk on the path of devotion, we become more and more aware of what's going on inside. We become more aware of how the mind works. We become more and more aware about how to fix that which is wrong within us. Because now we have the tools. We have the tools in the form of scriptural teachings. We have the guidance of the Guru, who points out where we are going wrong, who tells us the meaning of the scriptures, so that those teachings of the scriptures become very applicable to daily life. So as we walk on the path of devotion, we aspiring devotees, we must become aware of where we are going wrong, where we could improve also. Saints have told us that we lack simplicity. When we look within, we find that indeed we lack simplicity. Saralta. Saralta ka abhav hai hamare andar. We are lacking simplicity and purity. A newborn child is very simple, very pure. So we were all very pure, very simple at one point in life. But as we got older, we became more complicated. And Bhagwan says, Saral swabhav naman kutilai, Jatha labh santosh sadai. And also, Nirmal man jan so mohi pava, mohi kapat chal chhidr na bhava. God says in the Ramayana, I don't like a deceptive heart. I like simplicity. I don't like guile and deception. God is always pleased with those who are simple at heart. We hear the story about Dhanna Jat. He hailed from northern part of India, He truly lived on earth. His name was Dhanna. He was a Jat. He was a farmer. He led a very simple life. He was a very poor man, but he was content. Jatha labh santosha sadai. He was always very content with what he had. One day he saw Pujari ji from the mandir doing puja, and he thought, I should also do the same. So he asked Pujari ji, Pandit ji, can you teach me how to do what you do? Pandit ji thought, this man doesn't know a word of Sanskrit. He is illiterate. What can I teach him? How can he do puja? But Dhanna Jat was persistent. So just to get him off his back, Pujari ji said, look, I'm going to give you the stone. And there was a shiny black round stone. And he said, this is your Shaligram. This is your Shri Krishna. And you go take him home. But how do I do puja? How do I do what you are doing? Panditji said, there's only two things you need to do. One is that you bathe him before you bathe yourself, and then you cook a meal, and before you eat, you feed him. Bhog lagana. स्नान करने के बाद इनका स्नान करना, इनको स्नान करवाना, और खाना खाने के पूर्व इनको भोग लगाना. 2 things. That's easy. So very happily Dhanna Jat took Bhagwan home. To him that was not a stone, it was God. There is a simplicity. That he accepted what the Pujari ji was saying to him. Whatever the Pandit said, he accepted it. He had the heart of a little child. He was a believer. So he took the stone home and kept him very carefully and made little clothes and covered him with clothes, tiny little clothes. And every day, after he took a bath, he bathed the stone. And every day he cooked a meal very carefully. Well, the first day he cooked the meal and he offered it to Bhagwan. But God was testing his devotee, so he did not eat. And Dhanna Jat didn't think, oh, well, he didn't eat, I may as well eat. I'm hungry. He said, Pujari ji had said, first he eats, then I eat. He did not eat, so I cannot eat. How simple the heart is. I heard from Panditji that I must feed him first. He did not eat, he doesn't like the food I made, so I cannot eat. The next day, Dhanna Jat was especially careful in making the food. He was a poor man. He just had simple food to offer. Thick roti and some achar, that's all. He offered what he was eating himself. So again, God was testing him. Second day also, God did not accept the food. Second day also, Dhanna Jat said, oh, it will take him some time to get used to my cooking. Because Panditji probably gave him lots of delicacies. Chappan Vyanjan. I don't have that, I'm a poor man. But never mind, he didn't eat today, I will not eat either. Dhanna Jat thought, one of my friends, he was telling me that when someone sold the buffalo to him, pants, and that buffalo did not eat for 3 days because the buffalo was very sad leaving the previous owner. So Bhagwan is very sad leaving Pujari ji, or he doesn't like my food. But he didn't eat today either, so I will not eat. And this went on for 7 days. But on the 7th day now, Dhanna Jat was angry. He was thinking, well, you're starving, and because of you, I'm also starving. Because he had pleaded in many ways. He had said, now eat this, you'll get used to this. I'm a poor man, what can I do? This is the best I can do. He tried to talk like this to Bhagwan, but God was testing him. So on the 7th day, Dhanna Jat brought out a stick, his stick. And he said, are you going to eat? If not, I'm going to give you a good beating. You're misbehaving. You're not eating. And this is all I have to offer. So you'd better behave yourself. And all of a sudden, Bhagwan Shri Krishna came out of the stone and grabbed the roti that was in Dhanna Jat's hand. Dhanna Jat said, what is this? Half of it belongs to me. I understand you're starving, but that's not my fault. That is all your fault. You did not eat for 7 days, and I starved also because of you, so I need half of what you're eating. A simple-hearted devotee is so dear to God that God comes out of a stone to give him darshan, and then he stays in the devotee's heart forever and ever. And he stays on the mind of that devotee forever. He stays in his heart, giving unlimited happiness to that devotee and giving him unlimited knowledge also. So now suddenly Dhanna Jat is the greatest scholar. He knows all the scriptures because God has given him these gifts simply because Dhanna Jat was simple at heart. So simplicity is very, very important on the path of devotion. And even in the world. Now you may say, well, if I'm so simple, then people will take advantage of me. Be simple on the inside, not necessarily on the outside. But inner simplicity is very, very important. There was a man, he was an acrobat. He used to perform in the streets and people would be pleased with his performance. He was very good at what he did. He used to twist and contort his body. He used to jump up and down. He was a very good acrobat. And he was a street performer and people would throw coins at him. And that's how he eked out a living. One day he went to church. It was a Catholic church. He saw the murti of Mother Mary and he saw that people were coming in. They're lighting candles and they were asking the mother for something or the other. Please grant me this favor, please do me this favor, please grace me with this, more money, a better job, a son, this and that. And so, this, again, a very simple-hearted man, this acrobat, he also had very great simplicity within. So he thought, the mother must give them what they're asking for. That's why they ask her. But just like in the world, people don't give me money unless I perform for them, I think Mother Mary will not give me anything until I perform for her. So I shall give her the performance of my life. But I will do it secretly, privately. She will have a private performance. He hid himself until everyone left the church. The priests, the parishioners, everyone, the musicians, everybody left. And now he was all alone. So he bolted the door from inside. He removed some of the chairs and he wanted to have some room to perform, and he started giving the performance of his life for the benefit, for Mother Mary. And he was drenched in sweat, he was working so hard to please her. Now the priests and others were right outside the church, and they heard sounds coming from within. They were alarmed, they knocked, but he was so lost, the acrobat was so lost in giving this performance that he didn't hear them. They broke down the doors and they found this man performing, and they started to beat him. When they started to beat him, the entire church was bathed in light. And Mother Mary spoke and she said, "You are all hypocrites. You have never regarded me as being real. You have all thought to me to be just made of stone. But this is a true devotee of mine who is giving me the performance of his life. I am very pleased with him." When they heard this voice coming, all the priests and everybody fainted. And this pure-hearted man, this acrobat, this poor man, he became God-realized. Because of his simple faith, because of the purity of his heart. So purity and simplicity, these are very important for us. We need to work on them every day. Because we've fallen into bad habits, not just in this life, in countless previous lives. In the course of our countless previous lives, we have practiced being deceptive, practiced being artificial also. We show to the world not our true self, but our artificial self. We talk about putting on a face. A lot of people, oh, no, let me put on a face. In other words, let me do makeup. So let me not show my true face to others. I want to show them my best. And so this goes further. Let me just behave my best so others will think good of me. We are not genuine with the people we meet. We don't ever say, we don't show our anger to strangers, do we? We show our anger to those that we are close to, the ones we are attached to. we show our best to the others. Shri Maharaj Ji, Jagat Guru Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj would tell us many stories. And he said one day, he went into the house of these devotees who were very familiar with him. The door was unlocked and Shri Maharaj Ji, in his utter simplicity, he just walked in. And from their room, from their bedroom, he could see them arguing. He could hear them arguing. And the man of the house, he was a Supreme Court judge. And the wife was illiterate from the village. And she was saying to him, "Tumhe damdi ki akal nahi hai. You're just a big fool. You have no sense whatsoever." Shri Maharaj Ji said, I was amused hearing this because this woman has no schooling, no education, and her husband is a Supreme Court judge, but she's saying, you have no sense whatsoever. Akal nahi hai tumhe. And Shri Maharaj Ji started to laugh. They heard, and then they saw that Maharaj Ji was there, and then they stopped fighting, stopped arguing, and then Shri Maharaj Ji says, they became as if there are two bodies but one soul. Because I don't want to show my Guru that I was fighting, we were arguing. We become artificial even, please pay attention, people will come and go, you don't worry about that. We even show artificiality to God and Guru, because what can we do? We have practiced it so much in the world that we take this bad habit even to God and Guru. So we say to God, Mo sam kan kutil khal kami. There is no sinner worse than myself. I am the worst, absolute worst. And Tvameva mata cha pita Tvameva, you, O Shri Krishna, you are my only mother, my only father. And God laughs. Really? You believe that? You don't believe it. And we think, no, I don't believe it, but I'm just saying it. So we practice artificiality with even God and the Divine Guru, knowing fully well that He is all-knowing, yet we try to pull the wool over the eyes of God and Guru. This habit takes us away, further and further away from God. There's no doubt about it. Artificiality is not dear to God. Being genuine, genuineness, that is dear to God. There was a Guru and a disciple. The disciple said to the Guru, Guruji, why am I not attaining God? Why have I not yet attained God? Guruji said, because you hide your true self. What you should do if you really want to attain God is to tell others what you're all about. Tell them your faults. The disciple said, Guruji, I can't tell everyone my faults. I'm too embarrassed to do it. Can I just tell you? The Guru said, I already know your faults. But you need to tell others your faults, your shortcomings, your sins. Guruji, I do not have the courage to tell anyone about my sins. I'm too embarrassed. I'm too ashamed to tell them. Guruji said that that's your problem. Jagai and Madhai were they became disciples of, devotees of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. They were Brahmins, cousins, they were cousins. They were nicknamed Jagai and Madhai. And although they were born Brahmins, their actions were those of demons. Their actions were very demonic. They would drink alcohol, which is considered to be one of the 5 greatest sins by the Vedas. They were bothering others. They had all sorts of vices within them. They would trouble torment the devotees. They would not allow them to chant in the streets, this and that. But one day they came to their senses. And then they became devotees. Their bad sanskars passed, and they gave up their bad ways, their evil ways, and they became devotees. So then they asked Mahaprabhuji, with tears in their eyes, what can we do to atone for our sins? Mahaprabhuji said, go to the Gangaji, build a ghat, build a platform over there, so it's easy for all the pilgrims to come there and to come near the river. And that will do the pilgrims a favor. You need to serve them. And then whoever comes there, hold on to their lotus feet, touch their lotus feet, bow down to everyone, and tell them your faults. I've done this in my life, I've done that, I've done this. Go ahead and tell them all your faults. That is what Jagai and Madhai did. To this day, there is Madhai Ghat in Navadvip, Bengal. So we need to pay attention to how much artificiality there is within us. And then we also, before I go on, let me just relate to you an incident from the Ramayana. Vibhishan. Vibhishan comes to mind because he was so upfront with Bhagwan Shri Ram. Vibhishan was living in Lanka and he told Hanumanji, "Oh Hanumanji, I am living in Lanka like the tongue lives in the midst of teeth." If you think about it, the tongue is always in danger because the teeth may bite the tongue any moment. Sunahu pavan sut rahani hamari jimi dashananhi mahu jibh vichari. Just like the tongue lives in the midst of teeth, it's always endangered. In the same way, I am living in Lanka amidst those who don't love Bhagwan Shri Ram. So Vibhishan left, he renounced his brother. When Hanumanji came to him, Vibhishan said, "It is with the grace of Bhagwan Shri Ram that you have come to me as his messenger. I shall no longer live here. I shall take shelter of Bhagwan Ram's lotus feet." So he went to the enemy camp, enemy of Ram. He went to Bhagwan Shri Ram, and when Sugriv saw that Vibhishan was there, he knew who Vibhishan was, and he said to Bhagwan Shri Ram, "He is Ravan's brother, and I believe that he's a spy. He has come here to see what we are up to, and then he'll go back to Ravan and report what he has seen. So my advice, humble advice, my lord, is to tie him up. He's a spy from the enemy." Bhagwan Shri Ram said, "That is good advice for someone of the world, but not for me. If Vibhishan has come here to surrender to me, I shall surely grace him." So this advice is good, you've done your duty, but this advice is for someone who is of this world. But my laws are different. I grace the one who surrenders to me. So Bhagwan Ram said, "Bring him to me." Well, Vibhishan saw Bhagwan Shri Ram from a distance, and his eyes filled with tears. There were goosebumps all over his body. He could not speak, he could not say anything, he was speechless, and he kept standing like that, his body is trembling. He was so affected by the presence of Bhagwan Shri Ram, although Bhagwan Shri Ram was sitting at quite a distance. And Sugriv saw this and he was amazed how much love he has for Bhagwan Shri Ram. He has so much faith in him. Sugriv thought, when I first saw Bhagwan Shri Ram, I didn't have this faith. I thought he was a spy. And I had sent Hanumanji, my minister, to find out who Ram and Lakshman were. But look at this Vibhishan. He has so much faith in Bhagwan. So after some time, when Vibhishanji became normal, he approached Bhagwan Shri Ram, and Bhagwan Shri Ram asked him, smiled and asked him, "Who are you?" And Vibhishan said, "Nath dasanan kar main bhrata, nishichar vansh janm surtrata." Maharaj, I am the younger brother of Ravan. And I was born in the family of Asurs, demons. Bhagwan Shri Ram said it doesn't matter. Prahlad was also born in the family of Asurs, but he was a great devotee. Maharaj, but the fact is that I'm very different from Prahlad. I have great love for committing sins. Just like an owl loves darkness, in the same way, my mind loves to commit sins. Jatha ulu kahin tam par neha. Bhagwan Shri Ram smiled and said, he knew, Bhagwan Shri Ram knew his reality. But what we must notice over here is Vibhishan's humility and the fact that he is saying, I am a sinner of great proportions. He is not. His heart is filled with love for Bhagwan Shri Ram, but he's saying that he is a sinner. On the other end of the spectrum are we. We who are committing sins, we are committing mistakes, we are breaking laws of God, and we've been doing it for lifetime after lifetime. We think ourselves to be perfect. So we have a tendency to show our artificial face to both the world as well as to God and Guru. So we need to work on this shortcoming also. Another thing is that we become very content and satisfied with where we are in spiritual life. We become content and we say, I've done enough devotion, or I'm not doing devotion, but it's not my fault, it's God's fault. I was not born with devotion. I don't have faith. What can I do? I don't have the grace of God. Or I don't have time. This shortage of time seems to be increasing in Kali Yuga. As technology develops, as we have more and more gadgets that are supposed to save us time, have you noticed that we say that we have less time than before? We have so many things to help us, and yet we say, I don't have time, I'm so busy, I don't have time, I don't have time. So we say, I don't have time. If I had time, if I had the luxury of time, I would practice devotion. Even little children say it, I don't have time. And when I heard a little child saying that, when I asked, why didn't you come to Satsang? I don't have time. What are you doing on a Sunday morning? Oh, studying. Tell me the truth. What are you doing on a Sunday morning? Are you really studying? Watching TV. Playing video games. But we have become so accustomed to just coming up with an excuse. It's so easy. It's like second nature. Oh, I was so busy with my work. I was so busy studying. I was so busy doing this, doing that. I didn't have time. So we make the excuse of time. But when someone is in big trouble, if someone is suffering physically, and there is a very serious disease, he's found out he has a serious disease, suddenly he has time for God. Because now he says, I must pray to God. I've made a big mistake. I didn't pray to God. I didn't take that seriously. I always made fun of my wife, but now I realize. Now he has no more time, so now he realizes the importance. When we have so much time, when we think we have so much time, we find that we have no time for God. When we say I have no time, what we are really saying is, I have time for things that I value. I have time for eating, sleeping, gossiping, watching TV, browsing the internet, going shopping, playing, this and that. Playing video games, or just lazing around, sleeping for 8, 10, 12 hours, but I don't have time for devotion. What I mean is, I'm not interested. I don't value devotion. I don't value God. That's what we're really saying. But do we have the guts to say that to anyone? No. So we say, I would have loved to come to Satsang. Oh my God, your Satsang is so good, but I just didn't have time. We also put the blame on our destiny. I just wasn't destined to be a devotee. It's not in my destiny. No. We must never think about destiny. Because what's done is done. Destiny is fruits of actions performed in previous lives. Purva janma kritam karma taddaiva miti kathyate hitopadesh. We cannot undo what we have done, so what's the point of thinking about destiny? Daivam namana kinchana. Yoga Vashishta says, do not talk about destiny. Do not think about destiny. Think about kriyaman karma, what you can do in the present. I'm sure many of you have heard what I'm going to say. Khud ko kar, I'm forgetting it a little bit. Khud ko kar buland itna कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से पूछे बता तेरी रज़ा क्या है. Work so hard that God will ask you, okay, what is it that you desire? Because you work so hard. You decide your own destiny. Kriyaman karm, that is what we need to focus on, not on sanchit karm, those that have passed. We've already done those. We have yet to bear fruits of those. So we don't need to worry about that. Don't think about destiny. But when we say, I wasn't destined to practice devotion, it means that we are making an excuse which is completely invalid. Now, I have become very careful in asking anyone, hey, I didn't see you in satsang. Because not only, well, that person, what happens is that person immediately goes into the thinking mode, excuse mode. And so I think to myself, why in the world did I ask this question? Now I have to listen to this person for 5 minutes as they tell me this happened, that happened, that happened, and I don't think any one of those excuses is genuine. And I think, oh, silly me, why did I ask this question? Why? Because I forced that person to tell me some, if you don't want to call it lie, untruths, half-truths. What's the point? There was nothing was gained from asking the question, why didn't you come to satsang? Because we have those excuses just ready in our pocket, we take them out. Here's one excuse, okay. Second one, if that one didn't sound good to you. Third one, fourth one, 10th one. Tulsidas ji says, don't make excuses. Jo na tarai bhav sagar, nar samaj aspai, sokrit nindak mandmati, atam han gati jai. So paratra dukh pavai, sir dhuni dhuni pachitaye, kalahi karmahi ishwarahi, mithya dosh lagaye. If an individual blessed with the human body, if a human being does not go towards God, he's mood, he's the most foolish. But he is even more foolish, and he makes even more further mistake by putting the blame for his inactivity, for his laziness and careless on Kal, Karma, Ishwar. On time, this is not the time for me. Karma, or I don't have time. Karma, my destiny, and Ishwar, grace of God. I don't have time, this is not the right time for me. My destiny does not have devotion in store for me, and God did not grace me. Tulsidas ji says to all of us, stop making these excuses. So we make these mistakes. These are our faults, our shortcomings. We say, oh, I'm so unfortunate. Jagat Guru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj used to say, my Gurudev used to say, the only unfortunate thing about you is that you think you're unfortunate. That's it. You're only unlucky in one respect, and that is that you think you're unlucky. श्री महाराज जी कहा करते थे कि तुम्हारा एकमात्र दुर्भाग्य ये है कि तुम अपने आप को दुर्भाग्यशाली मानते हो, वरना तो तुम्हें ऐसा शरीर मिला है जिसके लिए देवता भी तरसते हैं। कर्म योनि में पैदा हुए तुम, भगवान की असीम कृपा तुम्हारे ऊपर, गुरु की असीम कृपा, सब तरह से कृपा ही कृपा बरस रही है। मानव देह मिला, भारतवर्ष में जन्म मिला, गुरु का सानिध्य मिला, भगवान ने सब तरह की कृपाएं की, फिर भी तुम सोचते हो मैं अभागा हूँ, मैं अभागिन हूँ। यही तुम्हारा दुर्भाग्य है बस। वरना तो तुम्हें इतना खुश होना चाहिए कि हमेशा हंसते रहना चाहिए कि भगवान ने इतनी कृपा की मेरे ऊपर, और भगवान के लिए आंसू बहाना चाहिए कृपाओं को सोच सोच के। So we are so fortunate that we have received the greatest form of life, which is the human form. And this human form is so valuable that even devtas like Indra, Varun, Kuber, they want the human form. Because in this form of life, we can perform actions that will bear fruit in the future. We can do karma. Karma means action, but not just action. Action that will bear fruit. Animals, insects, birds, plants, trees, these are all living beings. And then Devtas in Swargalok, they're all living beings. Devta is a yoni also. It's a form of life, out of one of the 8.4 million species of life. Besides humans, none of the other children of God have the privilege of performing actions that will bear fruit. Now, it doesn't mean they don't do anything. They do many things, but their actions go unnoticed. God does not give them fruits of their actions. But for humans, we have the privilege of reaping the fruits of each and every action of ours. We are so lucky. We are so fortunate. So we are not unlucky. We are not deprived in any way. Only thing is that we think we are. So we have received all the privileges, but we need to now work on our shortcomings. We need to work on simplicity. I go to many countries to preach, and one of those countries is Singapore. In Singapore, I live in devotees' homes, and they're nice. Most of them live in apartments. And what I noticed is, when I compare life in Singapore, the home or apartment, most of them live in flats because there's a shortage of space. And when I compare that life to the American life, it's a huge difference, an amazing difference. There, you may have someone who is earning good amount of money, but they'll be living in a 2-3 bedroom flat. They have minimum amount of furniture. They have minimum amount of things around them. And they're very happy. They're content living like that. And I look at how much space we have in the house in America and how much we try to fill that space. And why even talk about Singapore? Do you remember how, those of you who are old enough to remember, that you lived in India? How were we living? How much space did we have? And I know that as for me and my 3 siblings and mother and father and grandmother, we were living in 2 rooms. Did we think we were poor? Not at all. I never thought we were poor. But some of you may say, you can nod your head like this if that was your situation. Maybe you didn't have 2 rooms. Maybe you had 3, maybe 1. And it was a rented house, semi-detached. But we were content as far as I remember, never thinking, oh my goodness, we have an outhouse, and and then we just have 2 rooms. We're just so happy. So it's a nature of a human. It's our nature that the more we have, the more we want. Jo prati labh, lobh adhikai. Simplicity means being content with what we have. Just being content. As a child is very content with mother's milk, just drinking mother's milk that has no flavoring in it. But then later on, the child doesn't want that simplicity in food anymore. There was a girl who came to the ashram and many years ago, and she was little, and her mother said, well, no, she's never had sweets. And I thought, good luck, being in India, not having sweets. She grew up in Australia. No, I have not given her any sweets. The only sweets that she knows about is fruit. She has a natural sweetness of fruits, and that's all she eats, fruits and fresh vegetables, and she doesn't eat spices, and so on and so forth. But then later on, when she came back the next time to India, to the ashram, now this girl had become a chatori. She was so addicted to taste. I want more spices, I want this, I want that. So when she was so small, she was, when children are small, they don't care for taste. But then it's soon afterwards that, when their mother or some adult in the family puts a little spicy dal in their mouth, and the child makes a face like, what did you put in my mouth? That's so bitter. And the child looks very annoyed. But the same child then, parents say, well, you gotta eat this spicy food because I'm not gonna cook separately for you. So the child gets used to the spices and all different kinds of taste. And then one day the child goes, Mom, there's no salt in this. There is salt in it. It's not enough. Can you give me the pepper sauce? Can you give me this? So we were very simple at once. And to be on the devotional path, and being on the devotional path, and wanting to go further, we must learn to be simple. One day, once I was in our Masuri ashram, Seva Kunj, and our main ashram, Bhakti Dham Mangar, Shri Maharaj got word from there that people have started eating spicy food. They're becoming very fond of little spicy food. Shri Maharaj sent word immediately from one ashram to the next, if you people don't, if you are being careless like this, then I will stop you from even putting salt in your food. You are now becoming so fond of spicy food, I will take away even the salt. So do not do this. On festival days, Maharaji said, too many sweets, you people are eating too many sweets. No more sweets on festival days. So simplicity is really, really important. And being genuine and not making excuses on the path of devotion. Not tolerating our own excuses and just talking to ourselves, like, this is not good. We must think before we speak, before we are about to make some excuses. Think about it. What am I saying really? This is not right. I'm on the path of devotion and I want to please God. God is pleased with simplicity. God is pleased with someone who's genuine. And how will I attain the grace of God if I don't work on my shortcomings? We are practicing devotion, no doubt, which is a wonderful thing. But we must also keep looking at where we need to improve. And then we must concentrate on that particular mistake, that particular shortcoming. That I must concentrate on this. This is where I'm going wrong. I make too many excuses. I'm not active in my devotional practice. I always show my artificiality to others. I'm so afraid of them letting them know who I really am. I don't want to ever disclose my fault to anyone. I'm, बढ़ा चढ़ा के बोलते हैं, हम तो इतनी साधना करते हैं, 4-4 घंटे साधना करते हैं. I boast about the devotion I do. I exaggerate my devotion. I talk about it. All that, we must really pay attention to these so that we may get closer to God, so that He may smile at us and say, yes, now you are really deserving of my full grace. That is the ultimate. That is our aim. That's our destination. So we must always walk towards the aim. How much effort we put in to gain something worldly, to get an education. We work so hard. And that's needed, that's necessary. That's for the sake of the body. We work so hard at a job, at business, people work so hard. So on the devotional path also, we are practitioners of devotion. We must work very diligently, very hard. And always, as my beloved Gurudev used to say, always read yourself. Apne aap ko read karo, kehte the Maharaj ji. Examine yourself. Where are you going wrong? What do you need to do better? We must always do that. We must be introspective as we follow the path of devotion, guided by Jagat Guru Uttam Shri Kripalu Ji Maharaj. Boliye Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki jai, Ladili Lal ki jai, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा राधा राधा
भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा राधा राधा
भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा राधा राधा
भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा राधा राधा
भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा राधा राधा
भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा राधा राधा
भजु राधा
भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा राधा 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 भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा राधा राधा
भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा राधा राधा
राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु 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 राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
मेरी स्वामिनी राधा मेरी जीवनी राधा मेरी स्वामिनी राधा मेरी जीवनी राधा
मेरी स्वामिनी राधा मेरी जीवनी राधा मेरी स्वामिनी राधा मेरी जीवनी राधा
मेरी स्वामिनी राधा मेरी स्वामिनी राधा मेरी जीवनी राधा मेरी स्वामिनी राधा मेरी जीवनी राधा
मेरी स्वामिनी राधा मेरी जीवनी राधा मेरी स्वामिनी राधा मेरी जीवनी राधा
मेरी स्वामिनी राधा
मेरी स्वामिनी राधा मेरी जीवनी राधा
जो राधा राधा
जय हो
भजु राधा
मेरी राधा 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 भजु राधा राधा राधा
जो राधा 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 भजु राधा राधा राधा
भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा राधा राधा
भजु राधा 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 भजु राधा 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 मेरी स्वामिनी राधा मेरी जीवनी राधा मेरी स्वामिनी राधा मेरी जीवनी राधा
मेरी स्वामिनी राधा मेरी जीवनी राधा मेरी स्वामिनी राधा मेरी जीवनी राधा
राधे गोविंद भजो राधे गोविंद भजो राधे गोविंद भजो राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद
भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद भजु राधे गोविंद।
बोलिए श्री राधा कृष्ण भगवान की जय। Now we will be offering Bhog. The words will be on the screens. Ab na aur tarsao rasiya, आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया।
अब ना और तरसाओ रसिया, आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया। अब ना और तरसाओ रसिया, आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया। हो अब ना और तरसाओ रसिया,
रसिया आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया।
जो रस शबरी के झूठे मुख,
जो रस शबरी के झूठे मुख,
देर खाय पायो रसिया,
देर खाय पायो रसिया,
देर खाय पायो रसिया,
देर खाय पायो रसिया।
जनकपुरी के राज भोग महा, सो रस नहीं पायो रसिया,
जनकपुरी के राज भोग महा, सो रस नहीं पायो रसिया।
आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया, श्याम
आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया।
हो मानत हो भावहीन हो,
हो मानत हो भावहीन हो,
तै सुनो खरी खरी रसिया,
सुनो खरी खरी रसिया,
तै सुनो खरी खरी रसिया,
सुनो खरी खरी रसिया।
पत कृपालु पय पियो पूत नहीं, याते अब आ जाओ रसिया,
पत कृपालु पय पियो पूत नहीं, याते अब आ जाओ रसिया।
याते अब आ जाओ रसिया,
याते अब आ जाओ रसिया।
रसिया हो रसिया मेरे मन बसिया,
रसिया हो रसिया मेरे मन बसिया,
रसिया हो रसिया
मेरे मन बसिया,
रसिया हो रसिया,
मेरे मन बसिया,
रसिया हो रसिया,
मेरे मन बसिया,
रसिया हो रसिया,
मेरे मन बसिया।
आओ आओ रसिया,
भोग लगाओ रसिया,
आओ आओ रसिया,
भोग लगाओ रसिया,
आओ आओ रसिया,
भोग लगाओ रसिया,
आओ आओ रसिया,
भोग लगाओ रसिया।
हो रसिया हो रसिया,
मेरे मन बसिया,
रसिया हो रसिया,
मेरे मन बसिया।
आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया, श्याम
श्याम आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया।
अब ना और तरसाओ रसिया, आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया,
अब ना और तरसाओ रसिया, आओ आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया।
श्याम आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया,
श्याम आओ भोग लगाओ रसिया।
रसिया श्याम सुंदर की जय।
Radhe Radhe. Welcome everyone to Yugal Kunj today. I would like to start by welcoming our Didi back in Yugal Kunj. Welcome back, Didi.
I'm always going and coming back, so you don't have to clap.
Didi will be guiding us this Janmashtami, this Thursday coming up, and we have Dhruti Rajaguru, who's going to elaborate more on our Janmashtami programs.
Radhe Radhe everyone. How is everyone? Welcome to Yugal Kunj. So who's excited about Janmashtami? I'm most excited because this year we are finally back outside. For the last 2 years we held Janmashtami as a drive-through. So we're going back outside this year. So I'll just quickly go through the program details so everyone's aware of what we are doing hour by hour. And then I'll go through just quickly some logistical items. So the program is on this Thursday, August the 18th. We'll start at 5:30 in the evening. And then the program will be carried all the way till 1 a.m. So yes, it's a very long, extensive program. So make sure you guys get plenty of rest. It's 8 hours long. At 5:30, we'll begin here in the hall with Satsang. We'll have Keertans led by Didi as well as some of our devotees. At 7 p.m., we'll have Aarti indoor here as well as outdoor. We are anticipating approximately 4,000 to 5,000 people that day. So we can't host everyone in here. So we'll have Aarti both indoor as outdoor. And then our Didi will proceed outside, and then she'll lead us through some Keertan, as well as she'll give a short discourse on the significance of Janmashtami. Followed by 8 p.m., we'll have cultural program. We have several dance performances lined up for you guys, so we'll watch those devotional dances. And then at 8:30, any guesses what we'll be doing? Dahi Handi, yes! Our Yugal Kunj volunteers are so dedicated and they've been practicing for a while. They'll be also practicing today after Satsang, so you can watch them. So Dahi Handi will happen at 8:30, so make sure you guys are here on premises before 8:30 to watch Dahi Handi. In between 7 and 9 p.m., you can also enjoy dinner prasad. They'll be outside. There'll be about 3 to 4 stations outside in the back, so you can have dinner with your family. And then at 9 o'clock, it's our time to remember what the day is truly for, which is our beloved Krishna. So at 9 o'clock, all the program will complete outdoor and will all come inside. And I encourage everyone to stay. What happens is people get so excited from outside and they just leave. I don't want you to leave. I want you to come inside. I know it's going to be a long night, but we stay longer nights for our family and friends when we have their birthdays. So why can't we do that once a year for our God? So I encourage everyone to be here at 9 o'clock. So from 9 to 12, our Didi as well as our devotees will lead us through Keertans. And at 12 o'clock, we'll end the program with Aarti for our Bal Krishna. We'll do Abhishek, we'll do Paduka Pujan, we'll have loot, we'll have, I don't know what else is planned, cake cutting, and then of course clean up at 1 o'clock at night. We never leave without cleaning up the premises. So I encourage everyone to join us that day. It's the program details are also going to be communicated. If you don't have the flyer, we'll post it. It'll be available outside. I'll be outside. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Now logistics. We can't host 5,000 people, so that's approximately 700 to 800 plus cars on our premises. So we have made the decision there will be absolutely no parking on premises. So I'm going to repeat that, 0 parking on site that day. So I encourage people to come early. What we'll be doing is you can come on the premises, drop off your family, and you will head to Primerica, which is located, if you go straight on Duluth Highway, the address will be available to everyone. But Primerica, we have the permission to park there. So we will be running shuttles for the driver, not your entire family. I encourage everyone to drop off your family here first so they can enjoy the program. And then the drivers go to Primerica to park your car, and our shuttles will be available and they'll bring you here on site. So once again, no parking on premises. A program this large in scale cannot be successful without volunteer support. We need a lot of volunteer support in many, many different areas. So I encourage everyone to even sign up for at least 30 minutes. If you can't do the entire 8 hours, I can understand. At least take 30 minutes. Dipali Patel, where is she? She's right here. Please stand up. She will be available outside. She can take your names, and some of you may have physical challenges or whatever it may be. We can assign you areas where it's accommodating to you guys. Please sign up, and please come that day and volunteer. She'll be also available. She'll be wearing a volunteer sash, so you won't miss her. Please sign up, and she'll let you know where help is needed that day. And to make sure we recognize Yugal Kunj family, we have arranged saris, orange saris and white kurtas. They will be available. We had a stall outside last week as well, so we will have it once more again today. Today's the last day. Please get your sari. This is orange sari for ladies and white kurta for men. I want everyone who's from Yugal Kunj, and if you are Yugal Kunj family, please wear these. We want to look uniform. So for uniformity purposes, please get these saris. Since Janmashtami this year is on Thursday, we'll have the darshans open on Friday and Saturday as well. So if there are family members who can't come here on Thursday and they are afraid of this much crowd, please join us on Friday and Saturday. We'll have some activities and Keertan sessions also on Friday and Saturday as well. So, and the darshan will also be available. I forgot to mention, we'll have Jula, of course. So people can come here on the stage. Here we'll have Balkrishna Jula. Outside, we'll have Jaki and Jula also by the stage as well. So come join us. I think that's it. Clean up. I highly encourage everyone to stay until 1 o'clock and help us clean up. If not that day, the next day on Friday, we'll definitely need your help. So I think that's it. I took a little over.
We definitely need all the information we get for Janmashtami since we are so excited. So please be here on time. Like Dhruti said, 5:30 is the start time. You can come early and figure out the parking, like she said. Yugal Kunj offers a variety of classes, and if you or your children would like to learn how to sing, play harmonium, or even tolak, and be a part of this music team, then here's your opportunity. We are starting new classes next weekend. We will be having the beginners class for dholak as well as music, and the intermediate class as well. If you have any queries, if you have any questions about the music classes or even the classes that are being offered by Yugal Kunj, then you can see our volunteer Richa Sinha, or you can see someone at the front desk. Our next big upcoming event after Janmashtami will be our Labor Day weekend retreat. We will be having Divakari Didiji guiding us through the Labor Day weekend. We will be celebrating Radha Ashtami as well as Yugal Kunj's 7th anniversary. So please mark those dates. Today's Preeti Bhoj lunch is sponsored by Mr. and Mrs. Vyas, who are visiting us from Maryland. They are parents to Mrs. Chaya Nayak, a longtime devotee, and grandparents to Madhav Nayak. We are very happy to have you here in Yugal Kunj along with your family members. Thank you so much. Please all stand for Aartis. Radhe Radhe. Unless Didiji have something.
I just wanted to invite everyone for Janmashtami personally, and also for the family, Mr. and Mrs. Vyas and Nayak family, please come and do Aarti first. Thank you. Please stand. Can I have some of the kids take all the books away now? Close those books and just put them away. Thank you.
आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की के बनवारी नथवारी रसीले सैन दुहुन मैं तन मन हारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की दुहुन दृग चितवनी परवारी दुहुन लट लट कनी छवियारी दुहुन भौमट कनी अति प्यारी रसन मुख पान हसन मुस्कान रसन दम कान दून बेसर छवि न्यारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की एक उर पीतांबर फहरे एक उर नीलांबर लहरे दुहुन उर नर मोतिन छहरे कांकनन खनक के किरण झनक नूपुरन भनक दुहुन रुन जुन धुनि प्यारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की एक सिर मोर मुकुट राजे एक सिर चूनरी छवि छाजे दुहुन सिर तिरछे बल भ्राजे संग ब्रज बाल लाडली लाल बाह गलडाल कृपाल दुहुन दृग चारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की आरती प्रीतम प्यारी की के बनवारी नथवारी की श्री राम श्री राम श्री रामचंद्र कृपालु भजु मन हरण भव भय दारुणम नव कंज लोचन कंज मुख कर कंज पद कंजारुणम श्री राम कंदर्प अगणित अमित छवि नवनीर नीरद सुंदरम पटपीत मानहु तडित रुचि शुचि नौमि जनक सुतावरम पटपीत मानहु तडित रुचि शुचि नौमि जनक सुतावरम श्री राम भजु दीन बंधु दिनेश दानव दैत्य वंश निकंदनम रघुनंद आनंद कंद कौशल चंद दशरथ नंदनम रघुनंद आनंद कंद कौशल चंद दशरथ नंदनम श्री राम सिर मुकुट कुंडल तिलक चारु उदा मम हृदय कञ्ज निवास कुरु कामादि खलदल गञ्जनं मम हृदय कञ्ज निवास कुरु कामादि खलदल गञ्जनं श्रीराम श्रीराम श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपालु भजु मन हरण भव भय दारुणं नव कञ्जलोचन कञ्जमुख कर कञ्जपद कञ्जारुणं श्रीराम 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 श्रीराम।
बोलिए वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की
जय।
रासेश्वरी राधा रानी की
जय।
श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की
जय।
जगत गुरुतम श्री कृपालु जी महाराज की
जय।
जय जय
श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे।
Just one more time, loud voice, please say jai. बोलिए लाडली लाल की
जय।
And that is the way to say jai, loudly. And after being this loud, I will request your full silence, because that is one of the rules, and the only rule in here is to just remain silent, so that devotion that is